I'm Sunita Sundaran and welcome back to another episode of Seller Speak. Ranking your products higher on Amazon is a very crucial factor for your success. If you're able to rank your product on the first page of Amazon search engine results, then it'll boost your product's sales and your brand visibility substantially, and subsequently it'll aid in scaling your business. For that, the first skill you need to master is SEO, or the search engine optimization. But many sellers still struggle with mastering this art, which is why we have Patricia Minari with us to tell us everything a seller should know about Amazon SEO. Patricia is the CEO and founder of Beyond Amazon Consulting, which has helped Amazon businesses to scale and increase their sales. She started selling in Amazon in 2017 and has found great success as a private label seller. Before Amazon, Patricia had worked with many companies and has extensive experiences working with launching and scaling big brands. Hey Patricia, welcome to Seller Speak.
Hi, nice being here.
It is definitely good having you too. How's your day going, Patricia?
Hi, my day is wonderful, and yours?
Very good too, thank you.
Great.
So amazing. So let's get started. So what exactly is Amazon SEO and how is it different from Google SEO?
Okay, so to answer that question, I'm gonna go back a little bit. So Amazon and Google, they are both search engines, right? So they are both answering people's query. So when we go to Google and we go to Amazon, we go to search for things and they are both answering queries for us. But the thing is that they have different intents. So when we go to Google, we have intents for information, and we go to Amazon, we have just one intent, that is for buying products. And how they release the information is for the algorithm. So the algorithm is the responsible for releasing the information. So Amazon has this division that is the A9 algorithm that it's going to decide which are the information that it's going to release. So in this case, the products for each query. So when we go to Amazon and we input, like for example, dog color or dog white color, the A9 algorithm is going to decide which products and in what position is going to release for us. So an algorithm is basic a list of instructions used to perform a task. So I think that the best example to put in an algorithm is like a recipe. A recipe is an algorithm. So when we want to do like a chocolate cake and we have a recipe like this list of tasks, we only have a goal, that is to do a delicious chocolate cake. And you can have your recipe and I can have mine, but we both want to do a chocolate cake. For Amazon, it's the same thing. Amazon, her goal is to sell products. So Amazon has this algorithm that needs to get smarter and smarter to have to deliver the best products for each query to sell products. So what will be the factors in place to deliver that result? So mainly will be two great factors, like two pillars. When we release we get the query, so the same example. So let's go to the dog collar. When we go to the dog collar, Amazon first is going to see all products that are relevant to that query. So it's going to roll out all the listings and going to see what are the products that are relevant to that query. And how is Amazon is going to see what products are relevant? It's by keywords. It's going to see what are the listings that have dog collar on it. And secondly, the algorithm is going to see what are the products that are converting the best, because if Amazon algorithm wants to sell more and more, it's going to see what are the products that are already performing well. So then what are the metrics? It's going to see what are the products that are selling well, what are the products that are having the best click-through rates, the products that are having the best conversion rates. So mainly, what are the relevancy, what are the relevant products, and what are the products that are converting the best. And then it's going to position the product. So what are the products that needs to be on page 1, on page 2, on page 3, and on page 1, on page 2, on page 3, in what position each product will be. And we as a sellers, what we want to be on page 1 for the most volume search, right? Because we know that the most volume sales are on page 1. 70% of people, they won't go to page 2.
Right. So why is SEO so important? Everybody keeps talking about SEO on Amazon. It is absolutely important, and everybody makes there's a huge buzz surrounding it, right? So what are the main factors that affect Amazon SEO?
So as I said, Amazon has this main goal of the algorithm, and they will play with those pillars. So when we talk about SEO, that is search engine optimization, is we need to play with those factors. We need to optimize our listing to rank our product to page 1. So basically saying that we are going to optimize our product is to optimize our listing to rank organically on page 1 for the main keywords. In a simple way will be that. So what we're going to do, since we know what the main factors for the algorithms are, we're gonna play with those factors so our product can rank organically on page 1 for the main keywords. So first we need to know what are the main keywords. So this will be the first thing, right? So if we want to rank for those main keywords, the first thing will be what are the main keywords. So this will be the first thing. And then we need to know what are the main factors to rank for those keywords. And then it goes, because we know that Amazon is going to be ranking us because they want to rank products that convert well. But what will be those conversion factors? Because no one knows that exactly what weight Amazon puts in each factor, but we know what factors that converts mostly the product. So let's dive to get the examples and to be more clearly about what I'm talking about. So
sure.
So keywords are, when we talk about what are the keywords that we need to know, what are the keywords, right? What will be the keywords that are the most important to put us on page 1. If we need to be relevant, we need to find out what are the main keywords. And then if we know that Amazon needs to know that products that convert well, it's the ones that it's going to put on the page 1, we know that those keywords need to be on the title. These keywords need to be on the description, on the bullets, on the back end. So it's not only about getting the keywords, it's getting them on the right places. We know that Amazon weights them in different positions. They weight them in different ways. So we know that on the title is the more important places, and then the bullets and the search terms and the descriptions and what we put on the back ends. Also, it's super important that we get the category right, and that we get the browse tree guide, and we get the the subject matter, the keywords on the subject matter for the ones that are searching by the browse tree guide too. And then we need to work with the conversion rate aspects. So what will be the conversion rate aspects? The photos. So we need to have good photos, because we know that the photos plays a very important role on how our product is going to convert, and especially the first photo on the click-through rates. People are seeing the first photo and it makes a huge impact on how they are going to click on your product or on the competitor product. And the reviews, the more reviews that we get, and the reviews rating makes a huge impact on our conversion rates. The price, if we are prime or if we are not prime. So we know that if we are on the FBA program and we are prime eligible or not, it makes an impact on our conversion rate and on our ranking too. So everything that we start doing is like a snowball effect, because everything that can increase our conversion rate is going to increase our sales, and it creates like this snowball effect. And of course, the more you have like these features that opens you as a brand registry, if you have a trademark and you can have access to the brand registry tools like A+ content, your storefront, and everything that you can have access, you can improve even more your conversion rate.
Absolutely. So there are definitely a lot of factors, right? So it's all about the conversion rate, your pictures, the brand registry, and how you can use, there are a lot of tools within brand registry also that help you rank, that you were mentioning. Then the keywords itself that you place within the title, within the bullets, within the description, and all those factors along with the relevance that it has to the product and how converting it is. So all of this is definitely what sellers need to keep in mind, for sure. So talking about keywords, keywords is always it's a tough game, right, for most sellers. So there are different sets of classifications within keywords itself. So there are the top keywords that are super competitive. It's difficult to rank for them. And for long tail keywords, it is, even though long tail keywords have low search volume, it converts really well. So what is the best balance that you can do? So what sort of keywords do you use in your listing? Do you go against the do you go for the long tail keywords that have like really high search volume, or do you go with the really long keywords that have low search volume but they are better, right, because they're converting better? So which one should you focus on?
I think it's a balance. I think you need to have that balance in terms of getting the high search volume and the most relevant. So I think that the most important keyword will be the keyword that has the higher volume, but it's very relevant to your product. This I would say that it's the more important keyword. So having like the same example for the dog collar, it's the higher volume keyword and it's really relevant if you are a dog collar. It's the higher volume keyword and it's the more relevant for your product. But for example, if you are like a customized dog collar, then customized dog collar, maybe it's not it can be the highest search volume, but it's not the more relevant for your product. So customized dog collar, because you are a customized dog collar, will be not the higher search volume, but is the more relevant. So I think it needs to be that balance depending on how relevant you are for that search. So you need to have that balance, because usually sellers always go they want to go for the highest volume, and it's not only for the highest volume. You need to be really relevant for your product, because of course you want to attract, if you're a customized dog collar, for example, you want to attract the customers for dog collar too, but you have a higher intent for those ones that are searching for customized dog collar and they go to your product. You have a higher chance to convert. So it's better to attract those first. You're going to have a higher chance to convert than the ones that are searching for dog collar.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so you need to have the balance. You have both, but you need to have the balance. That for me, on my perspective, it's more important to have first the customized dog collar, because it's a very high intent buying. Then you have the dog collar too, but the customized dog collar that really says about your product, and it's very high intent buying decision than just the dog collar. So right. It's always a balance.
Perfect, right? So it's more about getting both of these things right.
Yes, so it's both the things. Yeah. Right, so and you have the space for both, right? So yeah.
Right, so you do have quite some space on Amazon. That so what happens with the keywords getting these keywords to rank? Also, there are so many times that it is difficult to rank a keyword as compared to another keyword. So most of the sellers have a difficulty with this. They are able to rank a particular keyword, but when it comes to a different one, it just doesn't climb up. So what are the factors that go into keyword difficulty, and what are the things that you need to do for fixing this? Is there something that can be done to get these things done right in terms of the keyword difficulty and how to rank with it?
Yeah, usually the difficulty of ranking goes into the more volume search that you have for those keywords. Usually they are more difficult to rank because you have a higher competition. So when you're launching a product, it's not because you're optimizing your listing that you're going to have organic ranking for those keywords. So in the beginning, you're gonna have sponsored ads for those keywords. And this is really important because then you're gonna have those keywords, sponsored keywords in placement, and you're gonna test which ones are gonna perform better than others. And then you're gonna have this feedback loop to optimize your listing too. Because one thing is when you have all those ASINs, that you can have a very good chance to see what is performing well for the products, and a very good listing of keywords to say, okay, I know what's performing well for those products that are on the market right now, and you're going to optimize your listing based on that. But then you're going to have your product on the market, and you're going to start testing what is going to perform best for you and for your product. And you're going to start bidding for your product based on campaigns too, and see what is going to perform best for you. And based on that, you can try to optimize better your listing too. So it's like a feedback loop when you see, okay, I saw what performed best for the products that are on the market. Now I'm going to see what's going to perform best for me, because maybe some keywords is not going to perform for you the same way that perform from your competitors. And then you take out what is performing for your ads, and you try to optimize again your listings. That's why SEO is a dynamic process. You need to optimize the whole time, because the consumer behavior changes all the time. So it's something that you need to do all the time. SEO is not a process that you do when you launch a product. It's something that you do all the time, right?
Absolutely. So there's definitely a lot of things that has to be done over and over again within Amazon also. You don't just, it's not a one task thing, like you do it and you just get it and you forget it, but you need to keep optimizing this over and over again, depending on how you were mentioning. You need to look at the ads, you need to definitely rework on your listings. So one of the things that I have observed in a lot of listings is that a lot of keywords are repeated, right? So is keyword density something that's important on Amazon? I know that keyword density plays a huge role in Google SEO. So is it the same thing on Amazon, that keyword needs to be repeated, and does the density have a huge factor in how the keywords are ranked?
Before that, let me just clarify the thing about sponsor ad, because I was telling that because when I take a brand, especially the brands that I take from Brazil, that they don't know anything about Amazon, is something that they misunderstand. When we talk about SEO, they have this misconception that when we are going to do the SEO and we talk about, okay, we're going to make the listing optimization of this product, they think that the listing optimization is going to rank the product on page 1. And so it's important to clarify, because making the listing optimization when you launch a product, it doesn't mean that it's going to put your product on page 1. It just means that Amazon is going to identify, it's the part of the relevancy. Amazon is going to identify well your product in order to say, okay, this product is relevant for that search. When you launch, you don't have the history sales, you don't have the conversion rate history, you don't have anything for Amazon to say, okay, this product converts well or not. We know that we have like this honeymoon period, but it's not enough to rank you to page 1. So we need the sponsor ads, we need to pay for the visibility initially, in order for you to put on the page 1 position, for you to create that history sales, for in the future for you to get that organic position. So it's important to clarify that, because usually when we say, okay, we're going to make the SEO, and then the brands that they don't know Amazon, they have this idea that the SEO is going to put automatically they're on position 1. Is not that. The organic, the SEO is going to give you like the foundation, right? If you do the SEO right when you launch, it's going to give you the right foundation, because when you keep moving the sales, it will give you the right foundation for the rest. Keep moving in the right way to give that snowball effect in the right way. But you need the sponsor ads in order to create that visibility and to create the other type of information that you need of what type of conversions you're really what really is working or not for you, because your keyword research is based on what is working for your competitors. Now you need the research of what is working for you, and what is going to give you is based on your sponsor ad. So it's really important to run the sponsor ad quickly, so in order for you to have that information. So just to clarify that.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah. So
I think definitely like a lot of people who have this idea in their head that you put in a lot of keywords, and then you're just gonna start appearing on page 1. And they get very disappointed if that doesn't happen. Like, I did everything and it's not just working at all.
They have this idea that SEO is putting you organically on position 1, and that's not the case. So just to clarify that. So yeah, talking about, you're asking about repeating the keywords, right? Then keyword density.
Absolutely, right. So
Yeah.
I was mentioning about how keyword density, there are a lot of people who do this again, right? So it's again linked back to how they think about SEO is something that helps them rank better. And they stuff in a lot of keywords again and again. So just like dog collar, or if say, for example, you're talking about customized dog collar, they put it on the title, they put it on the bullets, they put it on the description. So this is definitely something that's confusing, because keyword density, some people say it works, some people say it doesn't work. So what is the right thing to do?
Well, in my perspective, keyword density on Amazon doesn't play, don't have an importance.
Okay.
It really don't. For Amazon, you don't need to repeat keywords. Amazon makes it really clear that you don't need to repeat keywords in order to have a relevance in your to make your product relevant to that keyword. So and of course, if you because your product is, like, for example, the same example for dog collar. So because your product is a dog collar, you're gonna repeat the word dog and collar in many places of your listing, because you're talking about a dog collar. So
right.
You're gonna say about dog collar, because you're talking in the bullet points, you're gonna talk about the dog collar, and so you're gonna repeat it. But you don't need to repeat the exact phrase match, the long tail keyword in many places. You don't need to do that in order to be relevant. I don't know if you have a different experience on that.
No, definitely. So Amazon does make it very clear. So not just on the listing, even in the back end, they sort of say that keywords are not to be repeated, right? But there's both the talk that happens that sellers tend to do, and it's always good to know what is the best practice. So talking about that, so what are the overall things that come into creating like a great product listing on Amazon?
So, going back, as we said, Amazon algorithm will take these two great pillars to rank products. So first, we'll take the relevancy, and secondly, we'll see what products will have the better chance to sell again and again, because they not only want to get the products that will sell the best for one time, but will sell again and again. That's why Amazon sees the click-through rate, the conversion rate, and the bestseller rank. Otherwise, they will only pick the bestseller rank, right? But no, Amazon sees the click-through rate and a conversion rate, because they want to see the repeat buyers. So we need to understand that are the rules. So when creating the listing, we need to have a very high conversion rate listing. So what would be the tips of a very high conversion listing? So number one, have very good photos. Very good photos. We can't underestimate the importance of photos. Photos can tell 1,000 words. That's what they say, right? Yeah, and in e-commerce, people buy seeing the photos, and by meaning the photos, the first photo is the most important. It's what people would make people click or not on your product. And the other photos, by getting very clear photos by what is your product about, by telling a story. It's not only just random photos, but really telling a story of your product, getting very good lifestyle images, getting good infographics, really telling your product story, and focus on your product features and benefits. The other things is getting to know what are your main keywords. As we said, it's the balance about the most searchable, the most volume keywords and the most relevant, and knowing that a title is the most important. And then depending on the category will be the search terms, and then the bullets, and then the descriptions, and getting all the spaces done. What I mean by all the spaces is getting all the information done on Amazon. If we are telling that Amazon is going to crawl all your listing to say that if your listing is relevant or not, why not filling out all the spaces? So get your browse tree guide and fill out all the information. The browse tree guide, you have all the refinement values. And some people, they search by browsing the category. And by browsing the category, you can refine your browse. Sometimes you search by the browse and you refine, you filter your browse. And I don't know if you notice, if you refine that, those refinements are on your listing. So if you don't fill out those refinements on your listing is not going to show up. So you need to get the browse tree guide, and you need to fill out all the information that you need to put on your listing by the browse tree guide orientation. Other thing about the bullets that I would give as a tip is talk about the benefits. People don't buy features, people buy benefits. And a tip that I got from a person, from a copywriter that I did in a course that I did from a copywriter, is when you have a doubt about features and benefits, you just make a question of what if. So it's a tip that she gave me that I think that it's very simple, but it makes a huge difference. So for example, if you're talking about the example of the dog collar. So this dog collar has a material, it has a very strong buckle. That is a feature. What? Yeah. No, it's not what if, it's so what. So what that it's a strong buckle. So, right, so when you make that question, so what, the answer is going to be the benefit. So what that it's a strong buckle. So what that it's not going to break, it's going to be durable and it's not going to break easily. So that answer for the so what is going to be the benefit. So focus on the benefit, and then the answer you're going to give the feature. The same thing is going to be like the dog collar has a unique style. So what? Only your dog is going to have this unique style. I don't know. Every time that you answer this so what, you're going to answer the benefit for what you're trying to say. So it's a very easy way to try to see if you're really focused on the benefit or you're focusing on the feature.
That's a very, very interesting, good tip for people who are struggling with their listings.
Yeah, and usually we don't know if we're talking about feature or benefit. So it's a thing that she gave me as a tip, and I thought it was interesting. And the other things that we need to understand that plays a very important role on Amazon's algorithm is the other aspects of the conversion rate. So the price is not being the cheapest, but being competitive, right? We don't need to be the cheapest, but we need to have a competitive price, because if we have like a product that has a very strong value proposition, that has a differentiation, we don't need to be the cheapest, but we need to have a competitive price. So the reviews, are we really taking care of the reviews ratings? We're not showing up for the reviews that has like one rating as first. Right. Are we answering the questions and answers? Are we answering the bad reviews so customers are looking? So it's all these small things that we do that can make a huge difference on the conversion rates and can make a huge difference on our rankings.
Absolutely. There were a lot of things, right? So Amazon is like a lot of things. And are there any things that before a seller actually starts with SEO, are there a few things that he must not forget before starting off?
I think that one thing that they can't forget is to analyze well the market that he is starting, is to really understand if there is a fit for the product. Before talking about keywords, is not being so attached for their product, because what I mostly see, I work with a lot of brands that come from Brazil to start in the US market, and usually people are very attached to their brand and their product, and they say, of course my product is going to go well on Amazon, and sometimes it's not the case. So we have a lot of good tools, and SellerApp is one of them. So you have tools that you can analyze the data, and you can go there and see, is there enough demand for this product? Do you have, it's very competitive or not? Do you have, can you be profitable? Do you have some kind of differentiation to play in the market? So really to analyze. And another thing that I would do is, when you analyze the keywords, is not only analyzing keyword by keyword, but go behind the keywords. And I will say what I'm talking about. That is, when you talk about analyzing the keywords that are driving the sales by a product, it's really understanding what are behind that. So for example, I'll talk about a recent example that happened to a client's product. So we were analyzing, we have the same product as this competitor, but we were seeing that for this competitor, most of the sales were coming from the keywords for small. For example, he had like this product, we have the same product, but for him was coming, for example, for treat for small dogs. And for us, what was coming for the search, treats for large dogs. And we have the exact same product. So we started analyzing, why is that? Why people are relating their product for small dogs and our product for large dogs? It's exactly the same product. And because their brand has some name that is related to small dogs, people makes that association that their brand is for small dogs. So automatically they make the association that our brand is for large dogs. So the customers are separated. Okay, their product is for small and our product is for large. So because we are analyzing how people are searching and not only separate, okay, these keywords has more search and this keyword, no, we are analyzing the customer behavior behind the keywords. And because of that, we created a different portfolio. So now they came out with a different brand, with a different name for small dogs, just because of that search intent that came out for that behavior that we saw behind the keywords. So it's super important to analyze the volume keywords, to analyze the everything the keywords, but the most important thing is to really analyze what is behind those keywords, to analyze what's the intent behind the keywords when we get to the competition.
Absolutely. That was a lot of useful information that, it was very insightful on how market analysis and the intent of the keyword itself plays, a huge role in how things convert and how relevant the keyword is to Amazon. And it is a very insightful session that we had today with you, Patricia. And thank you so much for being on Seller Speak today. And for everybody watching our show, I hope you found this video helpful. If you do, then please do give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for even more useful information and content.